According to 4therapy.com, nearly 14 million people in the United States abuse alcohol and/or are alcoholic.
If recreational drugs were tools, alcohol would be a sledgehammer.
I mean, it is here. All of the statistics and information we have say, that it is here and that kids are struggling across the board. And it's not because, of anything we did or didn't do. It's because they're kids, and this isn't a perfect world.
This is happening whether you like it or not in this community. And you can't ignore the fact that there's a problem here. It's been documented. And rather than being frightened of that problem, I think it takes a community to really pull together and come up with solutions.
He was a lovely kid with a great future that made a terrible decision one night that cost him his life.
I definitely do know people who've had too much to drink and who've ended up in situations that I know they've regretted.
I'd say when I went into high school, it became more of a lifestyle.
Everyone thinks they're going to be okay and that nothing bad is going to happen, and it does. Not all the time and not most of the time, but it does, and when it does, it's big.
So I drank, all the time. That's who my friends were, the partiers, and it was fun then. It really was.
I want parents to get in touch with their children. This is only one trip you make. I mean, this is the journey.
It's okay to speak up, and it's okay to say things that may not be socially acceptable, because it may save your life someday.
I'm Jacklynne Kovack, and I'm the daughter of a newly recovering alcoholic.
Hi, I'm Janelle, and I'm a 43-year-old alcoholic.
According to medicalnewstoday.com, an alcoholic is someone who suffers from alcoholism. They have a distinct physical desire to consume alcohol beyond their capacity to control it.
I started drinking at the age of 16 with my friends for fun, and as time went on, it escalated.
According to Google Dictionary, alcoholism is an addiction to the consumption of alcoholic liquor or the mental illness and compulsive behavior resulting from alcoholic dependency. According to AA.org, Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other to help others and themselves recover from alcoholism. The primary purpose for AA is to stay sober and help other alcoholics. According to the alcoholismguide.org, an AA sponsor is a person who has been abstinent for a long period and who is prepared to support a newly abstinent member.
Hello, I'm an alcoholic in recovery, and my name is Patty. I'll be coming up on 5 years of recovery on May the 6th of this year. Currently I am working in a facility, a rehab for drug and alcohol, and it's called Living Green. I am a staff tech there, and I work overnight with the patients, and purpose of my job is kind of to make sure that everyone's okay during the night. A lot of times we get new admissions that come over from detox, and they're still going through the severe withdrawal from the heroin, the alcohol, whatever substances they were using.
According to Google Dictionary, detox is the hospital ward or clinic in which patients are detoxified. According to HowStuffWorks.com, when the body builds a tolerance to alcohol, it will experience an increased level of liver enzymes and increased brain activity and nervous system neurons.
Alcohol is a drug, which most people don't think it is, but it actually is. It's classed as a depressant, meaning it slows down vital functions in the body.
Someone drinks 2 or more drinks, it acts as a stimulant. When they drink more than that, it acts as a depressant.
If you binge drink, what you're doing is you're just drinking repeatedly over and over large amounts and large quantities of alcohol. If you put that much alcohol in your system at one time, you can get alcohol poisoning, which could lead you to go into a coma or even kill you.
According to cirrhosisoftheliver.co, cirrhosis of the liver is a chronic disease interfering with the normal functioning of the liver. The major cause is chronic alcoholism. Throughout my childhood, my mom was very absent. She wasn't always there. I didn't live with her, so it was very hard for me to get that relationship with her, that mother-daughter bond.
Many of us, like myself, lose our families because our families, our loved ones, our friends aren't important to us once we have that substance in us. The substance, the alcohol, the drugs, whichever is your choice, they become our main focus.
I looked through a box of photos and I've only found maybe 3 that have us together, and the one she ripped herself out of. She wasn't always drinking and she wasn't always using drugs, therefore I can't really say I never saw her sober, but even when she was sober, she wasn't a parent figure. Even to this day, as a recovering alcoholic, she's still more of a friend than an actual parent. It's hard being the daughter of an alcoholic because you get called names. I've been called every name in the book pretty much by my own mom.
Alcohol makes you do things that you normally wouldn't do when you're sober.
I've been punched, I've been kicked, I've had my hair pulled, I've been bruised, and my heart has been shattered because of the way my mom made me feel.
You hurt a lot of people along the way, your family, your kids, friends, yourself.
Nothing else matters. Children don't matter. A husband, wife doesn't matter. Jobs don't matter. Education doesn't matter. Home, nothing matters.
According to HowStuffWorks.com, when a person drinks an alcoholic beverage, about 20% of the alcohol is absorbed in the stomach, and about 80% is absorbed in the small intestine. Although she's recovering, I still worry day to day whether or not she's going to pick up that drink or do that drug because of all the letdowns I've had in my life because of her.
Sometimes we forget and we think we can drink or we think we can take just one. And we're taught that one is too many and 1,000 is never enough.
During your addiction, you get very depressed and your mind is not in the right state of mind, so I wanted to end my life at one point.
According to WebMD.com, depression and alcohol go hand in hand. They share common genetic and environmental risk factors that trigger both conditions. She's been in and out of rehabs my entire life. And throughout those whole times, there was a cycle that she created where something would go wrong. She would go to rehab, stay sober for maybe a month tops, including the days in rehab, and then slowly begin drinking again.
I didn't have any friends, I couldn't talk to nobody, I was alone, depressed. So at one point I decided that it was my time and I took a handful of my medication and went to sleep.
I worry to the point where a daughter should not worry. It should not be my job to worry about my mom. She's my mom, she should be worrying about me. But in our relationship, the roles are swapped. According to About.com, children of alcoholics and addicts can have a deep-seated psychological and emotional reactions to growing up with an addicted parent.
Alcohol, one of the most commonly used and abused drugs in the world, comes in a variety of forms and does one thing quickly and well. It changes the way you feel. But to what do we owe these feelings of release and freedom? How could the ingestion of one simple substance so drastically change not only your actions, but thoughts and perception? As alcohol enters the body and makes its way to your brain, it begins to interact with your neurons or brain cells.
According to helpguide.org, those who suffer from mental health problems such as anxiety, depression, or bipolar disorder are also particularly at risk because alcohol may be used to self-medicate.
Alcohol use and things like binge drinking during adolescence actually impair specific brain regions. And these brain regions, a lot of times, they're not repaired across time.
According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, we do know that heavy drinking may have extensive and far-reaching effects on the brain, ranging from simple slips in memory and permanent and debilitating conditions that require lifetime custodial care. And even moderate drinking leads to short-term impairment.
Being a recovering alcoholic is very hard. You have to struggle every day with this addiction and learn how to fight for life, fight for yourself, and fight for everything you have to keep yourself sober. And it's an addiction that you fight every second of every day, and it's very, very hard. But it can be done, but it takes a lot of time, a lot of work, and a lot of effort. Being an alcoholic is not something that you would want to be.
Peak age of developing alcoholism is ages 18 to 24.
According to 4therapy.com, 40% of those who started drinking at the age of 15 or younger developed alcohol dependence later in life. 25% of those who began drinking after the age of 17 developed dependence.
Kids who began drinking before age 14 have on the order of 6 to 7 times the risk of developing a full alcohol dependence or alcoholism disorder than those who wait until after that period of time.
I've learned that alcoholism is a disease. It's something that people cannot control, and it's something that nobody should live through. It's like a tornado goes through your home and your lives and rips everything apart, and you have to try to put everything back together again over and over and over again.
When you're an alcoholic, you'll have to hit rock bottom in order to pick yourself up and get back on your feet again. But for anybody out there, if I were you, I would not pick up a drink. It takes you nowhere.
According to DoSomething.org, teens who start drinking before age 15 are 5 times more likely to develop alcohol dependence later in life.
After a couple of years, I thought that I could work the recovery program on my own. And this is not the type of program that you can work on your own. It's a we program. We need each other in AA to help each other stay sober and clean.
I've seen and I've heard and I've been through things that most 17-year-olds have not been through. And that's why I am the way I am today. That's why I want people to know about alcohol and its effects, because it's not fun. It destroys people. And not only people, it destroys their surroundings. It destroys their families, and it breaks up homes, and it shatters people.
I'm Janelle, and I am a recovering alcoholic.